I've always liked to go all in on things. I've found that having a more simple, comfortable plan B, at least for me, makes it too easy to fall back on and not chase the things that I've always dreamed of.
Even like walking up here, I'm like, we're not even like halfway up.
While I appreciate the comfort, stability, and safety and being around those I love,
Are you sure you could do this, Tyler?
comfort can instill a sense of complacency, being stagnant.
Walking up to bungee jump. My heart rate's at 125 right now.
Usually to find my way out of these scenarios, I like to find something that not only excites me, but scares me a little. What I look for is the flinch. That split-second feeling when you decide to take that leap into uncharted territory. One of the best examples I can think of this feeling isn't just bungee jumping, but Jess's commitment to quitting her job, moving across the world, and experiencing something new for months on end. So what made you take that leap and just say, I'm gonna move to Australia?
I think I always knew I wanted to travel. I've always been a big traveler. I like to see what's out there. It's just really fun for me. But I also knew I wanted to live in a city. So I figured if I can travel and live in a city and get to explore a new part of the world, then why not do it? And then 2 years passed by, I was still in the same job, and I kept thinking about it. And then finally I was like, you know what? I can't get this off my mind. I really want to go. And I talked to my dad, and my dad was like, do it. So one thing is my whole family was very supportive, and my dad was honestly the one person who was like the entire time, you need to do it, you need to do it. You've been bringing it up every time I talk to you for 2 years. If you don't do it, you're gonna regret it.
When did you know it was time to pull the trigger and just do it?
I got a job offer, and I was like, should I take this new job? If I take the new job, I'm not going to Australia. And I was like debating if I should do it. It would be good for my career, but I really thought about it, and I knew that I wanted to go to Australia. And to be honest, I had a little bit of like a midlife crisis. I was like, this would be really good for my career, but I knew that I wanted to travel, and if I accepted the job, I was committing to not going. So I basically decided summertime when my lease ended, I'm gonna quit. So I said, all right, I applied for my visa, I got it, and then I booked my flight.
Rating 1 to 10.
City or Australia?
Australia. Really think about it.
8.2.
Oh, okay.
We've only seen like barely any.
Another one of my favorite examples of this feeling is exercise. Exercise isn't exactly easy. It's definitely work, but by far the hardest part is just putting on your shoes and getting out the door. That's the biggest obstacle. We didn't want to get up at 5 a.m. Leaving the house at dark, passing the degenerates coming in from their night out at 5 a.m., like the degenerates we were the night before. But getting out of bed, strapping on your shoes, and braving the early morning is the only way to have a sunrise hike. Without this little push outside my comfort zone, I wouldn't have had one of the best runs in my entire life.
Another run. Bondi to Coogee. Beautiful. Hit a dead end. Good photo spot though. These hills are brutal. Another dead end. More hills and steps. Quite possibly my most scenic run ever.
It was so cool too because it was so diverse. You would run from like a beach, all these rocky cliff faces, a cool beachy town, just the middle of nowhere again.
Yeah.
You really got to see it all. Oh, the plunge.
I love those little like.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that was just perfect.
yeah.
Like,
Those are sweet.
you couldn't ask for a better way to finish a run. Getting out the door at the crack of dawn was hard, but we had a hike, coffee, breakfast, a shopping spree, a run from Bondi to Coogee, a cold plunge, and a lunch before noon. And I'd argue that's a lot better than sleeping in.
Honestly, I would tell everyone to go there. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been. Everyone is so adventurous and outdoorsy. Like even when you guys came to visit, I dragged you guys out to wake up at like 4 a.m. for the sunrise and it was cloudy. But like we did it and we all had a great time and like continued on about our day, and it's just something like that. Like we wouldn't do that at home.
Would you change anything? Would you take that job offer or would you go to Australia?
Go to Australia. Like no regrets.
Dude, I was fucking terrified when I was on the ledge.
I think I learned that you can really do anything you set your mind to. So a lot of people, when I told them, were like, why? Why are you quitting your full-time salary job to basically be unemployed in a foreign country? And I just knew I wanted to do it, and I knew I was going to learn a lot from that experience. So I think the biggest thing I learned is that I can do things by myself, and if I want to do something, I shouldn't let the norm or other people hold me back from doing it. Now I think I know I'm capable of it, whereas before sometimes I would kind of take a step back and be like, oh, well, I don't need to do this. But I think now it's more of what I want to do, I will do, and I won't let anything else stop me from doing it.
Respect. Now I'm back home. I know I talk about this stuff like it was just some whimsical trip that we just jumped into. And in a lot of ways it was, but honestly, I didn't even know if I'd go. I knew Jess had this plan for a long time, and even while she was there, I didn't know if I'd end up visiting. I didn't know if I'd have the money. I didn't know if I could take the time off work. I didn't know if I was ready for a 30-hour travel day. I didn't even know if I'd have the energy or the positive mindset throughout that entire journey. But I just said, screw it. I had all those concerns floating around my head, and I pushed them to the side and just took that leap. And I'm so grateful. I got to witness all this joy, all this adventure. I learned so much more from this experience than I ever would have gotten living a normal week of my life. I wouldn't have gotten to spend time with these great people in a new place that inspired me in more ways than I can count.
I think because I'm so passionate about it.
No, yeah,
I think because and I think about this often, people are like, oh, are you glad you did it? And I'm like, yes, I'm glad. Sorry, I'm not doing it for this, I'm just talking now.